Baik, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Dan salam sejahtera, selamat pagi, salam Malaysia Madani. Okey. Baik, terlebih dahulu izinkan diri ini memperkenalkan diri. Saya akan dalam presentation ni saya akan guna dua mod bahasa, iaitu bahasa Inggeris dan bahasa Melayu, if you are okay with that. So let me first introduce myself first. Nama saya Ahmad Yazid bin Yahya. You guys can call me Yazid only. It's fine. Now working at UDA Holdings Berhad, hold the position as senior manager in sustainability. And Alhamdulillah, as of this year, mark my 12 years experience, on the ground experience in sustainability, especially in real estate and also township development. I have a MyCrest certified practitioner and other kind of certification, and also I can be contacted through my email as displayed, and also my phone number also displayed as well. Okay, all right. So without further ado, let's move on to the first the first of my slide here. Okay. First, I will explain to you guys what are you going to learn through my session today. So ada tiga topik utama yang saya akan share pada pagi ini, iaitu yang pertama sekali, tak lari kita perlu tahu what is the definition of sustainability. What are the global definition in terms of sustainability that we need to aware of. And orang kata kalau tanpa mengetahui apa itu sustainability, kita tak dapat nak face orang kata get the essence of the sustainability itself lah. And number two, when you already understand what is sustainability, so you will also need to will learn on why you do sustainability lah, in the context of people, planet, and prosperity, so that whatever that we do is systematic and also is last forever. Okay, and third, last but not least, you need to know how to implement sustainability in a very systematically way lah, throughout the value chains, and also understand how can sustainability can be integrated into urban development dan juga town planning. Okay. So next slide. Yang pertama, learning outcome. So understand the history and the concept of sustainability. So when we talk about sustainability kan, sometimes orang ingat sustainability ni adalah satu term yang baru. Sebenarnya tidak. Okay, it is not a new concept ataupun ideology that orang kata baru saja timbul recently. No. So for your information, the concept of sustainability ni sebenarnya dah lama sebenarnya wujud. Iaitu kalau tengok dekat dia punya historical line here, the concept of sustainability sudah pun bermula pada zaman 300 before century tau. So basically pada zaman itu dua ideologies, which is yang famous pada masa itulah, macam Aristotle, Plato, Socrates semua tu. So Aristotle come up dengan satu artikel dia. Okay, at that point of time dia punya article is about tragedy of the commons, and then it said about the need of conserving resources. Ini berlaku sebelum Masihi tau sebenarnya. So the idea of sustainability tu telah pun membezakan pada zaman itu dengan sekarang adalah how do we implement, how do we approach in the sustainability to give minimum impact ataupun to eliminate the impact of the issues and sustainability. Okay, and we goes on to zaman 1700, 1800. This is orang kata macam industrial revolution 1 and 2 lah sebenarnya, apabila petrol, diesel diperkenalkan. And bila tahun pertama digunakan petrol and diesel semua ni, dia punya impact of the carbon emission at that point of time tu boleh dikatakan tidak diselia dan dikawal secara baik. And that is why pada zaman yang seterusnya, pada zaman 1900 and above, the conference on sustainability have started where we gather, they at that point of time gather the leader from each of the country, 198 punya country, prime minister dan juga presiden ni, dia orang bersidang dan dia orang bercakap mengenai sustainability. But mark pada tahun 1972, if there is the first conference on environmental issue tau sebenarnya. Cuma pada tahun 1987 barulah diterbitkan satu report yang dinamakan sebagai Brundtland Report yang bertajuk Our Common Future, and daripada tahun 1987 itulah orang kata dia orang menjagat rayakan definisi on sustainability. So nanti I share with you the definition of sustainability later lah. Okay. And then pada tahun 1992, pada era tahun 2000, wujudlah matlamat ataupun target in terms of sustainability ni. And for your information, sebelum UNSDG wujud, sebenarnya kita ada satu goals, satu matlamat yang dinamakan sebagai Millennium Development Goals. Diwujud pada tahun 2000-an macam itulah. So kita namakan dia sebagai MDGs. Tapi pada masa tersebut, dia hanya menumpukan kepada 8 faktor sajalah. And then when the talks and the ideology revolve, when kita ada Kyoto Protocol pada tahun 2001 and other important information conference on sustainability wujud, and that is why pada tahun 2015 itu wujudnya agenda on enhancement on development, sustainable development goals pada tahun 2015 yang fokuskan kepada 17 matlamat. Okay, later we will look into that in terms of matlamat on sustainability. Okay. So next slide. Like I said earlier, I nak share dengan Brundtland, I nak share the common definition of sustainability to everyone, so that you guys know when you implement sustainability in whatever that you do, urban planning or whatever you do in the daily life, you always have this definition sama dengan 6 bilion penduduk bumi yang lain sebenarnya. Okay, so like I said earlier, Brundtland Report wujud pada tahun 1987. The article is Our Common Future, and di sebelah kiri bahasa Inggeris punya definition, belah kanan adalah bahasa Melayu. Tapi saya nak baca yang dalam bahasa Melayu. Okay. Pembangunan lestari adalah pembangunan, apa-apa jenis pembangunan yang dapat memenuhi keperluan pada masa sekarang tanpa menjejaskan keupayaan memenuhi keperluan masa hadapan. So the keywords is here, the development, pembangunan yang mana ia tidak menjejaskan whatever that we want to do now, dan juga dia juga tidak menjejaskan keperluan apa yang our cucu cicit kita perlukan pada masa hadapan. Okey, saya bagi contoh yang paling mudah. Katakanlah kita kena tebang pokok untuk kita buat kita punya whatever kita punya kata furniture ke whatever it does. So in sustainability punya konsep, kita katakan kalau kita tebang satu pokok, meaning to say we think about the future, kita tanam balik pokok tu, and then the pokok tu grow, dan supaya kita punya cucu dan cicit kita pun boleh buat benda yang sama, boleh dapatkan furniture yang sama, kualiti macam kita, dan juga meaning to say dia pun kena juga tanam balik tu, dan begitulah seterusnya supaya kita ada always have the resources. Okay, that is what the definition of sustainability is all about. Okay. Okay, next slide. So earlier I share with you guys on the UN SDG kan. So I think you guys pun dah banyak tengok kot on the UN SDGs ni apa. Tapi for those yang baru saja, saya yang baru saja orang kata get the essence of sustainability ni kan. Saya nak terangkan sikit pasal UN SDG ni daripada 1 hingga 17 dengan menggunakan perkataan yang mudah sajalah. Okey. Baik, nombor 1, no poverty, tiada kemiskinan. Yang kedua, tak ada orang lapar. Okey, saya akan guna bahasa yang macam tu je tau. Jadi, tak ada orang lapar, meaning to say food security is there. Nombor 3, good health and well-being, kita pergi kerja dan balik kerja dan kita bersama dengan keluarga kita dengan selamat. Yang keempat, mengenai kita memberi peluang kepada kita punya community kita untuk bersekolah, dapatkan sertifikat dan dia bekerja. Macam tu. Nombor 5, tak ada gender equality, gender preference ke apa. Semuanya equal. Yang keenam, clean water and sanitation, meaning to say kita ada sumber air yang bersih dan mencukupi untuk kita punya penggunaan setiap hari. Yang ketujuh is about solar energy efficiency, is about number 7. Number 8, decent work and economic growth. Satu-satu business tu ataupun satu-satu township tu ataupun development tidak boleh dikatakan sustainable sekiranya tak ada economic activities yang berlaku di situ, betul. So nombor 8 ni is quite crucial. Nombor 9, if you want to grow in business or whatever we provide in our township or in our development, we need to ensure that we equip with the suitable innovation and infrastructure. So that's number 9. Number 10, reduce inequalities, and number 11 ni lah yang paling penting lah for this topic lah. Sustainable cities and communities. There are a few targets under there. Number 12 is about responsible consumption and production. Waste management, resource management is under that. 13 is about energy efficiency, climate control and mitigation and risk, semua di bawah situ lah. Orang kata flood mitigation lah, solar heat mitigation, semua ada kat situ. 14, caring whatever existent below water, di dalam sungai, di dalam laut, di dalam apa saja. Yang ke-15, apa sahaja hidupan yang di atas darat yang perlu kita take care of it. Okay, yang ke-16, peace and justice, it's about governance. Okay, it's about macam mana kita menguruskan kita punya township kita supaya lebih aman dan sejahtera. Dan juga yang ke-17, yang terakhir, partnership for the goal. So sometimes when we want to develop a good township, a sustainable township, a smart township, kita kena fikir yang kita tak expert dalam semua benda. Jadi kita kena fikir how can we partner with some experts in the industry so that we can come up with a sustainable town or a smart punya city. Okay, so that is how we look into 17 goal. Okay, then next slide. Okay, I nak share dengan you guys in terms of sustainability in town planning lah. So this one I quotes daripada our Ministry of KPKT recently, Mr. Ngakomeng. A sustainable city is one that is able to adapt to change and overcome social, environmental and economic impacts in the long run. Jadi sejajar dengan apa yang kita belajar sekejap tadi is about the definition of sustainability, keperluan kita menjaga kemaslahatan kita dan alam sekitar pada masa sekarang supaya tidak menjejaskan apa-apa aktiviti pada masa hadapan. Okay, alright. So I want to orang kata the next slide. Okay, learning outcome yang kedua. Tadi kita belajar konsep sustainability, konteks dia apa, UN SDG, and then kita juga belajar sejarah sikit about sustainability ni, bila dia bermula sebenarnya. And now, selalunya akan terbangkitlah kita punya persoalan di minda lah selalunya. Kita dah belajar pasal sustainability. Soalan yang seterusnya adalah, kenapa kita kena buat sustainability? Why we need to do sustainability? Apa kena mengenai dengan kita? So the slide following will be sharing about on how why we need to do sustainability. Okay. Alright. I think okay. I nak run satu video dekat sini. Ada GIF punya picture. Okay. So issue global. Okay. Saya tak perlu nak explain semua orang pun. Okay. Sebab this is a global punya issue. Is a global warming. So kita kena tahulah apa yang menyebabkan global warming ni sebenarnya. So kita ada penduduk dunia, we have about 5 to 6 billion. Dan kita ada aktiviti harian manusia yang pergi kerja, balik kerja, guna kereta, guna bas, guna electricity at home untuk nyalakan lampu, all the equipment, nak memasak semua tu memerlukan energy. And you need to know that all this activity ini dia mengeluarkan satu gas yang dinamakan carbon emission lah, carbon emissions, carbon dioxide, carbon emission. So carbon emissions ni dia punya orang kata orang kata sifat dia adalah dia akan memerangkap di bahagian atmosfera kita dalam jangka waktu yang lama sebenarnya. Jadi bila dia terperangkap dekat atmosfera kita dalam jangka waktu yang lama, dia akan menyebabkan suhu di antara permukaan bumi dan juga di atmosfera akan makin lama makin meningkat. Okey. So, kita pun tahu sebenarnya dekat kutub dan kutub utara dan kutub selatan, kita ada dua pol iaitu North Pole dan juga South Pole, kutub utara dan kutub selatan. Jadi sekiranya kita tak buat sustainability ni covering the aspects of economic, social, governance and environment ni, E, S dan G ni, governance. So this thing, kawan kita on the next video ni will happen. So I nak you guys semua focus on the next video ni. Video ni pun tak lama, is about 1.1 minit plus saja. Okay. Okay. Kita ada kawan kita kat sini, iaitu polar bear, kutub, dia tinggal di kutub utara, okay. And then video yang anda, footage yang anda tengah lihat sekarang ni adalah footage yang pendek lah sebenarnya, footage pendek. Tapi cerita dia sekarang ni, the first question yang coming to our mind sepatutnya, this polar bear ataupun beruang kutub ni, cerita dia tak sepatutnya berada di sini, okay. What happened sebenarnya? Okay, so kita, dan juga kenapa saya pause dekat bahagian ni adalah saya nak share dengan semua orang yang ni adalah posisi memang posisi terakhir dia 3 ke 5 minit sebelum beruang kutub ni mati di lokasi yang sama, di posisi yang sama sebenarnya. Jadi kita kembali kepada cerita global warming kita tadi, satu aktiviti manusia yang mengeluarkan carbon dioxide yang telah menyebabkan kita punya suhu bumi semakin panas. Bila suhu bumi semakin panas, kutub utara kita dan kutub selatan kita, cerita dia of course dia ada ais kan. So all this ice melted. Okay, dia mencair. Bila dia mencair, tempat untuk this beruang kutub ni pijak dan juga cari makan tak ada. Jadi that is why beruang kutub ni wander into the human settlement. Tapi fotografer ni dia nak bagi makan tak boleh lah sebab illegal kan. So dia tak boleh kacau the ekosistem. Jadi dia terpaksa membiarkan sahaja this polar bear dead, disebabkan nak cari makan yang tak sepatutnya dia pun wujud lah pun dekat kawasan ni lah. Okay, itu adalah impact daripada satu sahaja issue in terms of sustainability, iaitu in terms of global warming. And that is why when we want to design the urban township, is either in most smart and sustainable way, we need to consider all these things supaya apa sahaja the human impacts of human activities impacts tidak akan menyebabkan ada all these kata tumbuhan dan juga haiwan terjejas. Okay, alright. So I nak to go for the next slide. Okay. Tapi cerita dia, environment bukanlah salah satu sahaja aspek yang perlu dilihat. Kita kena tengok sudut lain juga in terms of sustainability. Which is yang pertama sekali, when we want to design a good township, we need also to consider in terms of whoever are going to work in and orang kata siapa sahaja yang akan tinggal di situlah dari segi health and safety. Yang kedua, environmental part lah, climate change and technology innovation. Number 4 is changing of consumer behavior, and especially the new generation is look into environmental and social punya technology, and also the narrative is way advanced daripada tahun-tahun yang sebelumnya. Okay, so that is why we need to pursue for sustainability. Yang kelima, supply chain and human rights issues. Nombor 6, information technology and data protection. Nombor 7, ini is very common, tengah berlaku sekarang, which is in terms of raising of cost of labor and materials, dan juga labor workforce shortage and skills gap. Okay, so this is something that we need to consider as well when we want to design a good township lah, so that it does not happen. Okay. Baik, yang seterusnya learning outcome yang ketiga. Jadi saya recap balik. Yang pertama sekali kita belajar apa? Kita belajar definisi sustainability. Okay, dari segi sudut pandangan UN SDG, apakah 17 goal tersebut, dan juga tetapi history of background. And then topik yang kedua tadi kita belajar kenapa kita kena buat sustainability. Kita tengok beruang kutub tadi, polar bear macam mana dia mati disebabkan aktiviti manusia, gebuk-gebak semua. Kan? Sekarang ni topik yang ketiga is about how we want to implement sustainability. Then this topic will make you understand on how we can integrate sustainability into urban development or town planning. Okay, but kalau saya diberi peluang lah untuk orang kata extend sikit the topic, the title of this sharing session, I would like to extend the topic itu jadi sustainability in township planning, construction, operations and maintenance. Why? Kita dia mudah saja. Kita tak boleh terus, when we want to develop a township, kita tak boleh sekadar tengok the end goal apa yang kita nak integrate. And because along the way, when we want to construct a sustainable city ataupun a good township, kita kena juga lihat dari sudut ke arah, orang kata, in terms of how we want to execute a good and sustainable construction. Macam mana kita nak beri operasi dan maintenance yang terbaik kepada urban kita supaya it less, orang kata, human interference later, automatic ke IoT integrations, so that it is smart and also sustainable for the long run. Okay, so that is why a city can only be deemed sustainable jika dan hanya jika when its a value change effectively integrate sustainability elements and principle. So this is the value chain yang I talk about lah. Starting daripada planning and design stage dah kena fikir dah pasal sustainability. Masa construction kita kena fikir how we want to do a good best management practices into construction. Dan yang seterusnya, what about operations and maintenance? Okay, so now I give you a little bit of essence in terms looking into this ecosystem, sustainability, the ecosystem. I nak share dengan you guys my research lah. When you want to construct a good sustainable city ataupun development, this particular numbers of focus tak lari. Yang pertama sekali about the economic growth, so economic growth, and then about yang kedua is about resource management. Yang ketiga is about environmental impact mitigation during construction, operation and maintenance. Yang kelima is about giving a good sustainable infrastructure and transportation. Dan yang terakhir sekali ada strong and resilient community. So kalau you guys perasan, nombor 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ni, sorry ada number tweaking sikit kat sini. 1, 2, 3, 4 dan 5 ni, it's covering ESG, which is economy, environment, social and governance, which is cover sustainability lah. Okay. Alright, so saya nak pergi satu persatu. Saya rasa saya ada masa lagi kan, Puan Asma, saya ada masa berapa minit lagi? Time taken, time check.
Saya ada lagi, Aziz, lebih kurang dalam 15 minit macam tu.
Good. Alright, so sekarang ni saya dah share the brief concept about sustainability. Ada lima konsep. Tapi saya nak pergi lebih detail lagi, satu persatu. That's something that you need to consider as well when you want to construct a good sustainable urban development ataupun town planning. Okay. So macam saya cakap tadi awal-awal tadi, kalau you just focus on the design saja, dia tak boleh dikatakan sustainable sebenarnya. Sebab the aspect of construction, operation and maintenance tu pun perlu dilihat sama. Supaya ia ni jadi macam satu complete loop of sustainability. Okay, so that is why satu indikator yang pertama yang saya masukkan dekat sini adalah in terms of economic growth adalah supporting local vendor. So because why? Kita nak kita punya town kita is orang kata supporting the local organisation and also the supply chain within the township, okay, within the development. So and also kita juga support whatever the construction materials ke ataupun apa-apa sahaja services within our country, so that kita tidak perlu import import barang daripada luar negara ataupun servis daripada luar negara ke dalam negara kita. So kita dah reduce apa kat situ? Kita reduce transportation punya carbon emission dan juga orang kata intelligence daripada outside lah. So kita keep it in our country. The experts and also product is coming from the local. That's number one. Yang kedua, kita tengok dari sudut facilities dan amenities tu macam mana. Sesuatu township ataupun bandar tu dikatakan sustainable sekiranya dia tak perlu pergi ke bandar lain, perlu pergi bandar-bandar lain sebab everything basic common facilities tu dah ada dekat dalam township tu. That will reduce the transportation, carbon emission lah basically. Bila sesuatu community tu ataupun sesuatu orang tu ingin bergerak di dalam township tersebut. So that is why you guys need to consider something like 15-minute city ke, something about 500, between 500 to 1000 meters punya amenities yang saya senaraikan dekat bawah ni lah, which is in terms of suraunya kat mana, masjid, temple, church semua kat mana, educational sekolah semua dekat mana, dia kena pergi bandar lain ke nak pergi sekolah. So you need to think about that. Civic building, welfare center, healthcare, retail, takkanlah nak pergi semata sebabkan nak beli barang saja, convenience, dia terpaksa pergi berjalan sehingga 5 kilometer. Barang hanya nak cari telur dengan roti saja, tapi carbon emission is very high kan. So we need to consider about that. Nanti Dr. Lim nanti akan much more bagi guys punya orang kata essence lagi on this aspect. Alright, I want to go to the next one. Okay, sebab saya pun tak boleh lama-lama. I just you guys in the essence je, dekat mana you guys perlu tahu in terms of sustainability, kat mana nak consider dia. Yang ketiga, yang seterusnya, cerita dia, bila kita buat bandar, kita tak boleh kata kita nak buat bandar untuk T20 saja, T10 ke, T5 ke, tak boleh. Satu bandar yang sustainable, kita kata dia is a mix of products and commercials dekat dalam tu. So when you design urban planning after this, township development, you need to consider rumah dan juga commercial untuk dibeli atau digunakan oleh B40, M40, T20 semua ni perlu di-consider. So tak adalah pergi rumah ni, ini rumah T20 saja. Okay, T20 aja duduk sini. So orang kata dia tak ada harmonics dekat situ. Okay. Yang seterusnya, I just nak share this with you lah in terms of economic growth. I share juga kat sini effective sustainability marketing. Sebenarnya untuk membuatkan bandar kita ni lively, kita perlu sentiasa ada orang datang. Macam mana nak buat orang sentiasa datang, kita kena promote our township. Macam mana kita nak promote our township, kita kena buat a good and sustainable marketing. This is some of the criteria. I dah baca the criteria you guys nak kena fulfill dekat dalam this challenge. Is one of it is sustainable marketing tau. So nanti I share one of the slide macam mana you guys want to promote sustainability to outsiders to promote your city. So common sense, bila orang kenal township kita, orang akan beli rumah di dalam township tersebut, orang semakin ramai dan semakin lama the more the merrier. So that is how we need to look into the sustainability marketing lah. So the next slide ini I just nak share with you guys lah. When you want to do presentation after this lah, and for the design challenge, you need to think about the cost and benda semua tu kan. And don't forget to talk about sustainability in your design lah sebenarnya. a good developer, a good product, nanti bila you guys pitch nanti, when you pitch, don't forget to include the orang kata macam ni lah, orang kata unique selling point, USP, unique selling point, yang mana maybe tak ada participant yang lain ataupun contestant yang lain yang masukkan. Jadi you guys kena masukkan, kenapa I masukkan this time of marketing ke dalam saya punya brochure. So nanti you guys boleh baca my slide ni later lah. I'll share with you guys with this later lah. Sebab this one is very clear cut saja kenapa buat north orientation, minimize thermal heat, reduce uses of air conditioning, reduce electricity bill. So ni lebih kepada narrative sajalah. So nanti you guys can go through this summary of sustainability elements into marketing nanti. Okay. Okay, I dah settle on the economic growth. I nak go for the resource management. Okay, when you talk about resource, kita ada dua resource yang very important, which is our energy and also our water. So when you want to design in terms of product inside the township, inside the urban development, you need to consider this kind of passive dan juga active punya design. Okay, but for me lah, as a orang kata on-site, on the ground punya experience, kalau developer besar ni, dia akan first will look into passive design, because why? It is cost efficient tau sebenarnya. Sebab dia tak ada cost. Bila you want to construct your zoning tu semua tu, orientate dia tu lebih kepada north-south orientation, is free. You guys kena adjust the layout saja sebenarnya. And then macam mana nak design rumah tu supaya dia akan serap natural ventilation and all other technologies lah yang boleh kita masukkan untuk reduce the energy usage. When reduce energy usage, carbon emission semakin rendah for that township. So kita boleh claim kita punya bandar sebagai low carbon city. But kena ada certification yang kena lalu. And seterusnya, tadi kita tengok energy, now kita tengok water pula. Water pun sama. Okay, when you want to design water efficient punya orang kata instrument, so you need to consider something like this lah. You need to ensure that dekat satu benda yang product, some of the product you need to include, macam contohnya dual flush punya system ke, ada rainwater harvesting, grey water harvesting, but IoT lah, yang ni nanti Dr. Lim akan explain more in great details lah after this. But this is something that you need to look into, which is kalau kita tengok dari sudut procurement, dari segi cost of material, construction materials, dekat sini kita dapat lihat some of the construction materials kita tak tinggi dah sekarang compared to about 5 to 10 years ago. So when you do the kata budget for your construction nanti later, ingat apa yang saya pesan ni, iaitu look into passive design rather than active design. Active design ni technological punya injection lah. So you look into that. Tapi kalau ada lebihan duit ataupun extra money that you can go into, please go into something like insulation, yang lebih kepada thermal heat punya reduction, insulation ke, solar, LED lighting. Kalau tak ada reason dah kenapa bandar tak boleh use LED, so make sure that it is all LED plus solar punya lighting ke. So you need to consider that. Okay, seterusnya saya nak pergi ke, maafkan saya kalau saya berceloteh dengan panjang lebar, tapi saya sebenarnya dah summarize. Okay, saya nak share dari sudut environmental impact mitigation. Later you guys boleh baca lah sebenarnya, tapi other aspects on environmental yang you guys need to look into during the planning, construction, operation management is something like this. Habitat protection and restoration. So cerita dia, kita dapat tanah, kita tak nak lah tebang semua pokok yang ada kan. Mana pokok yang kita boleh preserve, kita preserve. Yang ada estetik punya value, yang umur dia like 100 tahun ke 50 tahun punya pokok, kita reserve dan kita buat sustainability marketing about that pokok. Orang datang beli rumah kita disebabkan ada orang kata ada hype dekat situ. Lepas tu kita tengok into climate and carbon management. Kita kena look into heat island effects ni. So kalau boleh banyakkan green buffers, gunakan grass creek, lighter color for the roof, reductive materials, perbanyakkan water bodies, banyakkan restoration and conservation of the existing punya trees ke. So something that you look into. Okay. Yang terakhir, yang penting, bawah climate and carbon management ni start look into smart way into tracking and monitoring of carbon footprint. Okay, so nanti later I think Dr. Lim akan banyak emphasize on the carbon footprinting punya system. Banyak dekat luar sana. Something that you can integrate install dekat dalam orang kata your urban development, your township nanti to monitor and tracking the carbon emission, and in fact gauge the suhu pun boleh juga sebenarnya. Yang ketiga adalah waste management and recycling. So cerita dia waste management dengan recycling ni, we need to look into during the planning stage sampailah maintenance punya part lah. So cerita dia during construction, kita boleh katakan during construction of the urban kita buat bandar ni, kita ada banyak building. So banyak building, bila kita nak buat building, banyak construction waste. Jadi one of the methods yang need to guys look into adalah IBS, sebab dia adalah kurang menggunakan kurang produce construction waste, dan juga need to look into the schedule and juga solid waste management. Dan ketiga, provide facilities on recycling. Ini tidak buat bandar kononnya smart, tapi recycling bin pun tak ada, so memang krik-krik lah. Okay, dan yang seterusnya adalah flood avoidance. Aku cerita dia buat bandar yang canggih, tapi setiap tahun banjir tak ada guna juga. Jadi cerita dia compliance of the MASMA lah. Manual stormwater management is either Q50 atau Q100. You need to comply dengan JPS punya requirement lah. Okay, so look into that consideration, sebab kita punya negara kita, the project site probably ada skewed into flood ke ataupun kawasan yang berdekatan dengan laut. So we need to consider all that thing at the very beginning. Okay, into the MASMA punya requirement. Okay, and then last but not least, I juga masukkan, orang kata benda ni kecil tapi pada saya besar, iaitu air, noise, water, light and other pollution lah. So masa construction you need to consider, I lupa nak tick dekat situ. So biasanya dekat bila kita nak buat construction, definitely kalau kawasan yang lebih daripada 50 hektar kita perlukan EIA. Okay, bila perlukan EIA kita akan ada EMP kalau kawasan tu less than 50 hektar. Jadi cerita dia, masa construction you guys need to consider the best management practices to reduce the environmental impact, especially those pollutants lah, air, noise, water quality index. Nak tengok macam mana supaya bukan sahaja smart city, tapi bandar yang bersih, wangi dan segala yang bagus tentang township ni lah. Okay, alright, next. Next slide, loading sikit. Terusnya dari segi aspek infrastructure and transportation, saya masukkan, saya terangkan in summary saja. Green Transportation Master Plan, look into LRT ke MRT, BRT, look into that supaya kita reduce the amount of car, single occupant vehicle ni, SOV ni, sebanyak yang mungkin dekat dalam urban development. Also to consider the pedestrian and cycling networks between neighborhood dan juga commercial. So sometimes buat pedestrian ni kadang-kadang dia buat dekat dalam dia punya kawasan penduduk saja, tapi it is not connected dengan commercial punya area, jadi tak guna juga sebenarnya. Jadi you guys need to look into that so that it is interconnected between commercials dan juga neighborhood lah. And then one more thing yang selalu saya emphasize bila buat design lah, so kalau boleh as far as you can, compliance to the crime prevention through environmental design, SEPTAC punya approach, especially untuk pedestrian and cycling ni kalau boleh dedicated lane lah, dedicated lane for cycling and pedestrian, so that dia bukanlah blue line on the road. You got what I mean when you visit some of the city yang modern ataupun yang orang kata lama-lama sikit, dia just disebabkan dia nak certification on the GreenCity, jadi dia nak ada dapat points in bagi pedestrian dan cycling walkway. Apa yang dia buat, jalan tengah jalan tu dia colourkan dengan warna biru je. So which is sangat tidak praktikal. Jadi orang kata dari segi sudut keselamatan tu tidak. Jadi kalau kita nak full look of sustainability, at the beginning of the design, you guys do the separation, dedicated lane for cycling and pedestrian wherever in the urban development lah. And then enhanced transportation mode ni ada banyak lah sebenarnya. Okay, I ada senaraikan 8 kat sini. Something that you need to look into the trends, like for example electric vehicle. Dr. Lim akan share more about electric punya charging station lepas ni. And then consider the bike sharing system, ada car park untuk LEV, car park untuk EV vehicle. So all these thing ni promote supaya tidak menggunakan petrol dan diesel punya transportation mode. Okay, so that's reduce the carbon emission. Alright. Last but not least, I think is covering on strong and resilient community. Okay, so in terms of strong and resilient community ni, the first point on crime prevention tu, please ignore that. But you guys need to focus on the community supports and activism and good governance practices. Ada dua main topik dekat sini, which is saya highlight dekat sini during construction and juga planning of the urban development. You guys need to consider in terms of safety and health lah. So basically tak guna buat bandar yang canggih, tapi during construction of the urban development, buat bandar tu ada setiap tahun ada 5-6 orang mati kan. So it's not sustainable, betul tak? So sustainable city tu kena tengok juga in terms of this thing. Kita kena menyediakan persekitaran yang selamat kepada pekerja lah. Okay, and then juga human right aspect. So something that is very crucial jugalah. Mana kalau kita buat construction punya site tu, kita kena consider compliance to Act 446, minimum standards of housing, accommodation and facility for employees, iaitu workers quarters for the laborers. Okay, and last but not least, good governance and practices. Something that you need to maybe tak ada berkaitan dengan urban punya development in terms of technicalities lah, tapi in terms of giving a good vibes, a good orang kata practices to all our stakeholders ni. Kita show that this project team ni ada a good anti-corruption and so anti-bribery punya system and thoughts when do the design. Okay, considering daripada planning stage into sampai lah maintenance. Okay, so that is something about sustainability in town planning. Okay, I sudah berada di slide saya yang terakhir. Okay, slide saya yang terakhir sekarang ni adalah sebenarnya anda boleh meneruskan bacaan anda sekiranya anda download all these things sebenarnya. Okay, so dekat local index and juga rating tool kita ada banyak sebenarnya. Green index and rating tool dekat Malaysia pun dah banyak sebenarnya. You guys boleh download this thing, Murni Nets boleh, GBI Township boleh, MyCrest Township boleh, Green RE pun boleh, and dia lebih technical details lagi. Kalau you guys nak include the sustainability elements into your development. And kalau dekat luar sana kita ada international index lah, kita ada LEED punya LEED, US punya Green Building Index lah orang kata. And also dekat Singapore dia ada BCA Green Mark. So all these tools ni orang kata kan, bila nak buat sustainability, kita kena ada a good system in place so that our sustainability implementation tu look into technical details from the beginning of the planning stage right until the operation stage. So all these tools here will help you guys in terms of capturing a good sustainability elements, dan juga in ensuring that the urban development ataupun township that you guys design is orang kata tak syok sendiri, dan orang kata lebih lestari dan mampan untuk penduduk di Malaysia dan siapa-siapa saja menghuni, insyaAllah. Itu saja presentation saya. Sekian.
Terima kasih Cik Aziz. Dah terlebih sikit masa tapi I to interrupt because memang bersemangat Cik Aziz presentation Cik Aziz, dan saya rasa all the participants also were actually giving focusing on what was being shared. So allow me to just share the screen back before I pass the session to our next speaker.
So my limited knowledge on smart city with you all guys, and allow me to share the screen.
Yes.
Okay, once again, thanks so much to Apple and UDA Holding, and Tuan Yazid for sharing such a wonderful insight to us regarding regarding the sustainable cities ecosystem. That is a wonderful experience from a senior manager from UDA, right, Yazid. He's sharing on the not only planning, it's on the conceptual and construction, operation, and maintenance to construct sustainable cities. Okay, wonderful sharing. Thanks so much, Tuan Yazid. And here I would like to continue a bit on how to integrate the smart element into our so-called design, okay, to planning a city. So let me start. So today's outcome, the outline first. So first, I will explain the objective of this session, and I will introduce a bit of myself. And for today's major references, I will refer to my papers published and books. And also, next I will explain what is the concept of smart city according to the definitions of the well-known, as you know, the corporation, the IBM, and Professor Rudolf Giffinger, and in Malaysian context also. Then I will share with you the Malaysian smart city framework, which is actually we are implementing now through the KTKT, Kementerian Perumahan dan Kerajaan Tempatan, right? And then we also adopting the ISO International Standard of 37122, which is the smart city indicators. Okay, later on I will share also and some of the emerging technologies that related. Then I will talk about the sustainability and sustainable development and SDGs. I think this part is mostly covered by Tuan Yazid. So for me, because I'm in academic line, I will share more some critical aspect, critical perspective for you all to rethink the concept. And then I will share some ideas on promoting the sustainability in smart city design also, and then some good practices. Hope that can help you to in the design stage later, in the competition later. Okay, let me start. So hopefully with this sharing today, I hope you will understand the concept of sustainability and smart city planning first. Second, I hope you can rethink the directions of sustainability in smart city planning. And then last, you could able to apply ideas for promoting sustainability in smart city planning and design. Okay. Okay, a little bit about myself. Introduce Puan Asma. Thank you so much. I'm a senior lecturer attached to UiTM Perak. Okay, my background is urban planner. I got my master and bachelor's degree from UTM Skudai, and I completed my PhD in from UKM Bangi. Okay, so my studies is basically all about constructing a smart city, but it is more on the people-centric side. So that is a major argument of my thesis, that is constructing a smart city more on people-centric rather than technological-centric. Okay, that is basically my argument. And if you are interested, you can maybe you can go to Shopee and buy my book if you are interested. Okay, I got 2 books already published with my previous supervisor, Professor Dr. Jalaluddin Abdul Malik. He's very experienced professor also in the smart city field. Okay, let's move on. And today's references for discussion, I will basically refer to my writings on my 2 books and some of the journal publications. Okay, these are the one. If you're interested, you can always go to the ResearchGate and download and read if you're interested and refer. Okay, right. I will start on the smart city development discussion. First, I will explain to you the definition. Second, the Malaysian Smart City Framework, published in year 1921. And third, I'll explain further on the MS ISO 37122 Smart City Indicators, and then ended this part 1 with some examples of emerging technologies. So what is smart city concept? Everyone said that a smart city is about technology, right? Without technology, we cannot do anything. So smart city means it is an accessory for us to actually apply to solve the urban issues. And that is very important for everyone. Currently, we have everyone is talking about AI, right? AI. Without AI, you cannot do anything. Even not only in city solution, even in our daily life. Okay. So actually, this concept of smart city is actually firstly promoted by IBM, the giant corporation, IBM, in 2009 about. At that time, IBM is trying to promote the idea of smarter planet. And IBM defines smarter city or planet as that the city makes optimum use of all the interconnected information available today to better understand and control its operations and optimize the use of limited resources. That is the idea of IBM, where to construct a smart city, you actually have to install a lot of what? Sensors, IoTs and others in the city, let's say the traffic light or in the flood prone area, so that we can know that what is happening on ground. And then this kind of data we collect back to a so-called control center. So it is interconnected some kind of data integration, so that we can make a better decision to come up some kind of solution. Those are intelligence, the meaning coined by IBM. This is very popular, and everyone is citing IBM and until today. And this is more on the more on practical side. The other one is more on academic side. And this Professor Rudolf Gittinger from Austria, Vienna University. His publication is also considered a seminal one, because even not only Malaysia, even the world is referring to the 6 elements or 6 characteristics of smart city coined by Professor Rudolf Gittinger. What Rudolf Gittinger mentioned, he mentioned that for a city to become smart, it must be a city well performing in a forward-looking way. In these 6 characteristics, which are the smart economy, people, governance, mobility, environment, and living, and built on the smart combination of endowments and activities of self-decisive, independent, and aware citizens. Meaning that with those 6 elements, it is not actually enough. We have to create so-called aware citizens. Those citizens that are independent, do not only always depends on the resources of the government. They should independent and create their own resources and help the city to grow together. This is most important, because what for to plan a city if not for people, right? Okay, so that is the basic idea of Professor Rudolf Gittinger. And Malaysia, our KPKT and Plan Malaysia, they also adopted this definition. So if you can refer to this MSCF or Malaysian Smart City Framework year 1921, the definition for smart city is a city that use ICT and technological advancement to address urban issues, including to improve quality of life, promote economic growth, develop sustainable and safe environment, and encourage efficient urban management practices. So as you can see, that it is basically following this IBM's definition and integrating Rudolf Gittinger's 6 element, plus another one, extra one, the 7th element, which is smart digital infrastructure, because we are considered still a developing country. So we need to construct all those digital infrastructure to support those interconnected data transmission and so on and so forth. Okay. So I just make some basic comparison for you. What are the differences of smart urbanism across continents? So in strategy-wise, for North American cities, normally they bank on technology. Okay, like IBM, they follow their ideology, and then they sell their technology, and to have some capital and income. And then for Europe, they more on a human-centric kind of thinking, and more holistic kind of thinking, like Rudolf Gittinger. They do not only stress on technology, but a more holistic type of 6 element. Okay, and Malaysia, for example, Asia in Malaysia, we are still developing, especially those telecommunication infra like 5G, fiber optic. It is still lacking. Not every city like Putrajaya. Putrajaya and Cyberjaya is exceptional, very good one, as you know. But not every city like that. So we need to actually embark a journey on really building our better digital infra to support, the smart city building. So next, the idea for North American, the bank on ICT, European, more on a holistic idea, and Malaysian, especially, is discursively, campur lah, macam Roger, discursively learning from North American and Europe. This is what I observe, not only Malaysia, even Indonesia and all Asian countries. And governance approach for North American, they are more on top-down type, meaning that citizens are recommended to follow whatever the social algorithms orders or the whatever top leaders say. They just have to follow lah. So European more on top-down, Okay, top down with citizens' voice prioritized. Having said that, American is North American or America is a democratic country, as you know. Since this is just a generalized idea how they work under this smart city urbanism. Okay, then Malaysian is inclined towards top-down governance still. We're listening to the boss. What boss said, we must follow. For example, it's not always the truth, but mostly. And it is there has a tendency that they are accepting the voices from the bottom, but still ambiguous. Sama. Okay, not really firm on that. I mean. Then collaboration model, like American there, they're going on the double helix, meaning that collaboration between PPP, public-private partnership. Like IBM cooperate with any state government or government of there. Then European more on quadruple helix, meaning that their partnership of PPP, 4P, government, corporate, academics, civil societies. They work together as a core partners, like what has happened in Amsterdam cities. And then Malaysian still at the current stage is inclined towards double helix model and privatization, like Putrajaya. Okay, they are inviting the private sector to, to help installing their technology or so whatever, and the people come after. That is the issue. Come after the design, the planning of the city. Okay, next, I'll explain a little bit on the 7 domains of Malaysian smart city framework. As you know, this framework is quite comprehensive. I consider comprehensive because when they start writing this report, they have actually identified 30 urban challenges. These 30 urban challenges is further analyzed or improve through those strategies, how to tackle those challenges. And they also have 112 projects. So you guys could refer to this report and see if those projects are related to your design. Maybe you can cite that. So for example, for economy, they say low productivity in the current economy. So what can you do? What can you do? Let's say the third one, low level of readiness to transition to high value added industries. If you design the site including the industrial area, then how do you bring in the high added value industries into your site? Or how to have innovative business enterprises. These are the challenges that have been identified top down. Okay, you can actually refer. It is very important challenges as general in Malaysia, what is happening now, and other challenges like living, high crime rate, as you know, explained by Tuan Yazid also, and healthcare and others. Okay, I have to go through fast because I only have about another 30 minutes, right? Yeah, don't worry, guys. You always can contact me through through email or WhatsApp. And this document can be downloaded online. It is open to all. Okay. For what I always mention that is you have to design for people, not design for car. Remember that you don't design for technology. You don't think that you hold those technology background, whatever, AI, whatever, then you think you can have a very good fashion recognition. You can you can install all the sensors all the way around. But do you want to live in a city where you always patronized by those electrical eyes? Do you want? Of course you don't want. Then how to avoid? That is a privacy issue. In terms of you want to have a better collection of data collected back through the control center. But people do not actually want to expose their privacy, their daily life, even their single movement, their facial expression also, right? So that is the way that you have to rethink to create smart people or smart environment. And the people have to, when you design the space, will the people come out and have activities in the public space? Will they join? Will they have a social mix? We do not want to design a place where there is a high-end, high what? B40 people only gathering there. You do not want that area only B40 people gathering there. That could be one of the critics of the social mix under these 15-minute cities. So you have to think of this, how to have a better integration or interaction. For example, the third issue here, lack of harmonious public interactions and community environment. This is one of the issue. You can think of that. That is also one of the current issue as I highlight to you. And many more. Let me just move on. Let me just move on. Okay, so yeah, I would like to share with you the latest exciting development in Malaysia and worldwide can you imagine last time when you talk about ISO, International Standard Operation organization, they are having those ISO for factories for the operation, how to have a standard operating procedure to produce a product or to have a meeting, whatever. Now we have ISO to plan a city. And city is a complex system, very complex, and involve humans some more. So it is very difficult. But now this ISO, they have come up with this idea to plan the city through ISO, through those I mean tangible figures that we can measure how to become a smart city. And this is actually already promoted around 10 years ago. Then now come to Malaysia. Malaysia actually have adopted this ISO, and we have actually published this MS ISO, Malaysian Standards ISO 37122. You can actually buy online. Sorry to say, this is not free. You have to buy online. Yeah, you can buy online, share with others, share the cost. I mean, and then you can go through this ISO and what are the indicators inside, and maybe you can integrate or apply those indicators into a design, because this is what is promoted by KPKT. KPKT is promoting to integrate these 80 indicators in ISO to plan the smart city around Malaysia. Now in Malaysia, do you know how many local authorities we have? 100? No, it is 155 around. So many, meaning that those Bandaraya, Majlis Daerah, Majlis Perbandaran, they have to have their own plan tindakan, action plan for smart city. Currently, they're actively doing, and including those, a lot, like Manjong, like Shah Alam, like Klang. They're actively creating, have a public engagement FGD with the people to have a better so-called holistic smart city action plan. And this is what is happening now. And how to integrate these 80 indicators into local context is still a question. It's still a gap for us to explore. And this Plan Malaysia, under this unit smart city led by this Tuan Farabi, they have actually they have actually so-called susun, so-called combine and put under 7 domains. Put the 80 indicators under the 7 components of smart city. So for example, when you talk about smart environment, and if you are designing a city, you have to think of the current energy solution. So energy is under the smart environment here. There are 10 indicators here. Okay, for example, EV charging, and then solar and street lighting using IS the LED lighting, and how are you going to install those IoT? These are the knowledge you have to apply in your design letter. Let me show you one of the example. Okay, this is one of the example of this is the document of the ISO. Okay, you have to go and buy. Sorry, I cannot share. Okay, so yeah, this is one of the element. What the indicator? I mean, you see, percentage of buildings in the city with smart energy meter. You are planning the city of tomorrow, not for you to live actually, for your generation. I mean, your son, your chuchu, to live. So that is a future kind of thinking. So you have to install those smart energy meters as promoted by TNB also. But how many percentage you want to install? There are some explanation here, and maybe you can have a table, meaning that public buildings, how many buildings you want to install with your design. You try to quantify your design. That is more important. If only just drawing the graphic, drawing those beautiful building or the animation through the wonderful apps from Apple, very wonderful, I think. But without without those tangible figures, it is still somewhere lacking. Okay, I mean, like Dr. Zakias already explained to you yesterday, right? If you follow updates, she explained to you about the free form that help you to explore the ideas and brainstorming, and those ideas can be translated into the apps keynote, those, and then you can insert those animation, right? Animation, and you can present your idea in a more attractive way. And then another apps is Pages. Correct me, Puan Asma, if I'm wrong. Okay, you can how to say conceptualize or how conceptualize first all those ideas, and submit to page, and later on you can do more editing. It is like a Word document apps. You can editing everything and put in text or whatever. It's very helpful. Then later on go to EPUB. Those what I will mention is very fantastic. Thanks to Apple bringing this fantastic app to Malaysia. And those are the design concept. What I want to emphasize to you, like explained by Dr. Zaki. Like for example, the Lime City concept shared by Dr. Zaki. Those are design concept. You can have lime, have flower, bunga raya, whatever. Very beautiful, very presentable. But those are only design ideas. Actually, the real investor or real judges like me with the technical knowledge, we actually want to see the development concept. Okay, the essence of the development. What type of concept you actually want to apply? For example, I explained by Tuan Zahid just now is a 15-minute city. How are you going to apply 15-minute city? That is one of the concept. A low carbon, or even any other ideas that is applied. Could be applied in your context. Those are more important. So the design concept, development concept. Later on, I explain. I share a little bit with you. Let me continue. Let me go back to the slide. Okay, so this is the one. You can always go to this our MS ISO and find out. Okay, these are some of the technology that is actually happening not only in Malaysia, around the world. It's AI, IoT, big data, social media platforms, blockchain, robotics, and so on. Okay, if you can, or if you have those ideas that like you have the knowledge of GIS, I bet that you all, some of you could have a very advanced knowledge on GIS application. You can apply this in our competition. I think so. Yeah. So let's move on. Okay. For the second part of the this sharing is on sustainability, sustainable development SDGs. Actually, this had already explained thoroughly by Tuan Yazid. So I just touch a bit more critically from the academic perspective. Okay. So sustainability, as explained already by Tuan Yazid, I think everyone knows you are not planning for the current generation. You are planning for the future generation. Meaning that whatever you draw or you present letter, you pitch letter, that is not for you now. It is, imagine for another 50, 30 years time, how are you going to enjoy the places that you design? Okay, that is the meaning of sustainability. If your design cannot be enjoyed by the next generation, then that is not a sustainable design. So example, so simple, we put it like that. Okay, and let's move on. SDG also explained by Tuan Yazid already. What I would like to say is currently the SDG is mostly based on vision for human prosperity. We are planning for people, actually not really holistic, for those non-human living. Really, only 25, around 24% is for the planet, protecting the planet. So that could be a newer version after 2030. There will be a newer version. I mean, another goal set by SDG, as you know. Before that we have millennium, now SDG. After 2030, there will come out another one. I think that one will more on protecting the planet. As you know, the climate change issue and the polar bear issue, polar bear, as shown by Tuan Yazid, the video letter. Sure, I think that is my prediction. Okay, so sustainability is basically a long-term goal. Long-term goal to achieve, not your generation but the future generation also. The sustainable development is the processes to reach that goal. Okay, and we have those 17 SDGs as set by this UN, United Nations. Okay, if you would like to see more about these critics, you can read my paper. You can download online from ResearchGate. Move on. This is one of I mentioned. It is mentioned by Professor Jeffrey Sachs. Jeffrey Sachs is a special advisor for the UN General Secretary. He's very famous. He already wrote the. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. Maybe you can display it in full screen. It will be easier
full screen. Lupa. Terlalu excited. Okay. Thank you, Asma, for the reminder. Thank you so much. Okay, full screen. Yeah. Yeah, this Professor Jeffrey Sachs already mentioned. He is penasihat kepada UN General Secretary. Dia cakap, dia sudah buat report lah. You cannot actually achieve. You will be surprised. He said you actually cannot achieve those 17 goals and those small goals, sub goals. You can actually cannot achieve because the slowest progress is on some of the environmental goals, very slow. We are only plan for people, not for the planet actually. It is very dangerous, so-called. It could be a zero-sum game for sustainability, as commented by this Professor Iggy Chandler from Australia. Yeah, I think so. It is a very important finding, but still, are we there? How are you going to plan a sustainable city for our competition purposely? How you have to rethink that and try to refer to this report also if you can, Sustainable Development Report by Professor Jeffrey Sachs. So let's move on. Yeah, this is my conceptualization of the current state of sustainability. Not the current, the conceptual one is coined by, as you know, Professor Elkington. Actually, there should be a balance. The ratio should be profit one, people one, and planet one, and that is a ideal concept of sustainability. But currently, we are more bang on the profit, as you know, and the people just sorok tepi lah. Okay, as you know, then this connection totally, not totally lah, I would say, not so biased. We have a lot of ideas. What, like, we have a lot of idea NGO, right, and protecting the planets and those recycling activities, right? A lot, but still very little if compared to those profit activities. That is what I mean. Okay, so more on capitalism, as you know. So in future, what I would foresee is could be a more inclusive type where planet still should be the big focus for us. Then only people and profit and the sea and wildlife. Could that be an ecological democracy type of future? I don't know. Okay, next. I'm just proposing the idea. Let's see. Okay, next. Ideas for promoting sustainability in smart city planning. So this, as explained by Tuan Jai also, there are 11, there are 17 SDGs, so you have to profile them. You have to really study these 70 SDGs, and then you separate them into biosphere, society, and economy. And how are you going to achieve through partnership? Can you, beside designing the spaces, can you have another further strategies to have partnership in the city to use those, especially those public spaces that you design? Can you? That is a challenge I throw to you. Okay, then you can refer always to these two documents: MSCF, Malaysia Smart City Framework by KPKT, and another one, the latest one, Malaysian Standard ISO 37122. Okay, these are the tips for you to refer. Beside the tips provided by Tuan Jai, right? So some good practices of urban design elements. I think you guys would like to see what are those imaginary good ideas for your design. Okay, so you can ask yourself what kind of layout you would like to design, what kind of master plan you would like to design, what is the mixed use of land use you would like to design, how many percentage of residential you would like to imply in your design, how do you like to bring in those value-added industry in your area. Does it solve the current issue, problem of the site? You have to think of that and try to relate to the global context of XDG and Malaysian context of the MSCF, that one that I explained to you just now. Okay, then what kind of building you like to design? What kind of green building that can be energy saving? How does it function? Okay, you cannot just draw anything like covered by all the green, then you say that it's a green building. How does it function? Can you explain further? Then when the pitching time, then the judges could ask those questions to you, not just drawing. I mean, not just those animation. You try to explain further the essence of green building. And it's a design more on car centric or people centric. That is the idea you would like to explore. And is your design more on space, creating space or place? Place means a lot of activity, human activities injected into a space. So if you are designing a space without those active human activities, that would just remain as a space, not place. Okay. So another one by creative human-centric design. How are you going to have a creative design that is designed for people, not for car or not for technology? And then how to have a safe environment and nature-based environment. If there are rivers, will you utilize that become one of the transport alternative for your city? Okay, These are the questions I would like to throw to you. So these are the examples. You can see the example Berlin. Berlin. That can you design a round buildings like that, and there's a big open space in the center? Would that be possible in your design? How is the accessibility of the people? How is the walkway, pedestrian walkway, they're connecting the people conveniently, and they can enjoy the environment. On the right side, okay, do you know what kind of design is this? Anyone knows? Anyone knows? Would like to answer? It is a design in Copenhagen, Denmark. You see those little circle. This kind of design is more on the cluster design. As I explained to you, cluster design is one of the popular design in practice now in Malaysia also, where we actually would like to create more bigger space of green, green taman, and then the accessibility to the amenities is in a shorter distance, and it is more financial viable, because now most of the community we would like to have what security, right? Security surveillance. So who are going to pay for the fee, right? Security fee. So we must share the fee together with the community. Then how are you going to design your community that the security will be shared by a bigger size of community? Then you have to think of that. I just talk until here only. I do not want to give you the answer. That depends on the creativity later. Okay, I won't give you the answer. I just throw questions to you. Okay, I believe that you are more creative than me. You are those young generation. And also even under those powerful apps like Apple, right? Sure you can. Yeah. Walking distance. Can you reach the walking distance of those amenities? Like, can your kids? I mean your kids. If your kids' future, can they walk to the school? That can you imagine? You stay in Shalam, but you no need to travel. I mean your kids no need to travel to school by bus, or by your private vehicle. No, they can just walk to school. Like currently happening. It is always happening in Japan. In Japan, every community they have a so-called elementary school. The kids every day they walk to school. No need, and the parents also do not worry about the safetyness of their kids. Okay, so can we do that in Malaysia? At the current stage, still far. I myself, my kids also, my wife will help send to the school. It is not so convenient. So that is a good try if you can do so, and you can refer to some Japanese city planning. And also this book, that this Dr. Zahir Alam and this professor, Resilient and Sustainable City Planning. A lot. You can go and refer. And actually, they say the more walking, the healthier you are. The healthy, meaning that you design this walkable city, that is a healthy city. Of course, if that is healthy, that is sustainable. You can live and breathe until tomorrow. That is sustainable. Okay, good. Remember, so next, these are the examples. You can, if you want to read more, Paris, they are doing so, and Detroit and Portland. Okay, and basically, if that is a plan land, how are you going to design the layout? Would you design just a typical boring Greek iron design, as in many design garden design in Malaysia? Can you have more loops, and then more open space, gather people together? Can you do so? Garden city is the idea that you are promoting, even in Putrajaya. No doubt, you are doing well. But can you do it better? Have a more creative idea, incorporating this smart element. In smart city, you have to have a panic button around the city. When people that have emergency, they can just press the button. Then I mean the police, whatever, police or ambulance, they can come to your the incident place. So how are you going to design the panic button? Then how are you going to design the control center? Because smart city, we need control center. It's not like the centralized one in the police or whatever in the majlis. That is very far, very far to reach help. I mean, so for the smart governance and smart monitoring of the city, you have to rethink. And this is the current status that you are still lacking. I have to say, smart city planning is still on the accessory surface. The actual layout design for smart city is still a gap for us to explore. And this is the time for you. And look at the right side here. This is one of the example. Yeah, one of the
Yeah, sorry to
example.
interrupt, Dr.
Sudah.
I'm just for the time check, it's almost 11:30, so I
Okay,
might
another
want
2
to
minutes.
speed up a bit. All right.
Okay, thank you, Pak Asma. Yeah, I'm always so excited when talk about this planning of smart city. Sorry for that. I'll try to wrap in another 2 minutes time. All right. So on the right side here is what is the design of this pattern? Anyone knows? It's like a honeycomb. Sarang apa? Sarang apa? Lebagan. Honeycomb. Honeycomb it is accessible to all, and it's a more residual space saving. Dia tak ada ruang-ruang yang terbiar. Yang terbiar tak guna. That is one you want to minimize. This is one of the example. You can have another crazy idea. As you like. As you can. Sure. I believe on you. Okay, next. Okay, some of the good practices of urban design. The building, can you have the color? Can you have the color on the building of these different environment, different neighborhood? I mean, what is the color representing your environment? You don't just put color only. You must give meaning to the color that you put on the building. Okay. Remember, you don't just draw or animated or whatever design. You must give meaning to your drawing. Okay, to your idea. I mean, then only that makes sense to your design. And then the building covered by green shrubs or what, whatever. Can you do that? What kind of landscape? What kind of plants you want to attach on those surface of the building? Do you know the name? Do you know the name? That is a detail that we are looking for. If you can move to that landscape kind of thing, that is added value for your design. I think so. Yeah, and then design for people. You avoid car-centric kind of design. Okay, you can do that also. But try. But how to avoid people using car voluntarily, not by force. Not by force. That is important. If you force people, then no fun. People don't like. They'll complain later, and your project will have no buy-in. You will be a failure. Okay, no good. You must get the buy-in from the people. Then how? You must think of that. Next, space and place. Place, there's a Professor Yi Fu Tuan, the book Professor Yi Fu Tuan, very famous. You can go and read his book from US. How to have the sense of belonging for designing a space that convert to place where have a lot of active human activities. Okay, and the mixed use the right side here is a building, one of the building that turn to the mixed use. Mixed use in the one of the old building. If outside got heritage building, how are you going to do that? Okay, beside those basic thing, you have to check the land use map. If I were allowed to explain the technical one, one Asma. First, you have to check the land use plan in the local plan. Let's say the site is in Cheras. You have to check the Rancangan Tempatan or city plan of Kuala Lumpur. Go and see the sheet, what kind of number, the plan sheet number, and check the land use plan. Okay, land use, what kind of land use class order is allowed. And second, check the density. What kind of density? Density control is for the housing density. For example, the terrace house is normally the design from 8 to 12 units per acre. Okay, 8 to 12 units per acre. That is a rule of thumb to design the terrace per acre. Okay, can you design those? You don't design a terrace house with 20 units. That is out of the guidelines. Okay, out. So you have to know those fingertips design. You can check this guideline through Plan Malaysia's website. So let me come back to the topic. First, you have to check the land use map. Second, you have to check the density map. Third, you have to check the plot ratio map. If designed for the city center, you have to know how tall your building can be built, can be reached. You cannot simply say you want to build a tall building, 50 stories in Cheras. Is that area allowed for you to build 50 kind of building? No, no. For my limited knowledge is no. Up to could be 1, the plot ratio could be 1 to 10. 1 to 10 means what? Means minimum you can build 10 stories of the building, and maximum can go to up to what? Up to what? Up to around 18. Maximum is 24. Okay, double maximum, double. So that is a guiding principle. You have to go and check. I cannot explain here in detail because you have limited time here. Okay, then beside those land use, land use map, density map, plot ratio map. Then you have to see the special condition of your area. First one is that environmental sensitive area. Is that hillside area got erosion or not? Got any flood issue or not? If that you have to refer, then you have to say, you have to mention, you have to prepare those extra report like EIA, environmental social impact assessment or social impact assessment. Or if that area including those heritage building that I mentioned to you, heritage building, you cannot just simply demolish that building. You have to preserve that building, and you have to add another activity allowed. That is a use class order you have to refer under this CD plan Kuala Lumpur. You have to go and refer. Then that makes sense of your design concept. That is a thing that I would like to emphasize to you. You do not just bang on the the design concept. You have to bang on you have to including the development technical knowledge. Then that will be good. That is, I think that is one of my contribution in this workshop. And if that is TOD, transfer oriented development kind of thing, then you have to go to refer those guidelines. Everything is under the sun. You can go and download from the website of Plan Malaysia. I think I have to stop here. Too long already. This is one of the example from urban scale, the perspective. Okay. This is one of the simple max. Okay. Simple design. If you want to have design elements. Any crazy ideas or you take from any online, so I got a lot. But it's applicable in solving the issue of your design. You don't simply put any crazy idea design the cycling there the bin in such a 30-60 degrees design. Can you? I don't know. Okay. Then the safety concern of the pedestrian street. Can you have a LED light there? Okay, that could be powered by solar. Solar only, solar panel. No need to have a real electricity supply. Yeah. Then you have to base on the natural based design. If that is a big tree, you don't just simply chop off. That is illegal. For trees more than 0.8 meter, the lilitan, under Acta 172, you cannot simply chop. It is illegal. You have to go along the shape of the tree. Then you design the pathway. This is the one that must be a natural based design. Also emphasized by our this Dato' Puan Maimuna. She's the proud of Malaysia. She is currently the Director General of UN Habitat. Okay, so that's all. That's it. Thank you so much. I'm sorry for taking your time.
Thank you,
So
Dr.
any
Lim.
question you can just ask. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So that's it, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Apple. Thank you, Bas.